Good morning, afternoon, or evening. This is Gibbs the Grey, and today I will be reviewing the game Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I'll tell you what my overall rating is, and give you a brief overview of the game, and at the very end there will be some spoilers based on my playthrough. First and foremost, my initial reaction was, holy shirt, I hate this game, why did I waste my money, and how do I sell a digital copy? It quickly turned into, actually kind of like this game, and then to, cheese its crust, I forking love this game. I am a figurative god among men. So my overall rating of the game, from 2 butts being the lowest to not at all butt being the highest, was a pretty not butt game. Though this is a FromSoft game, it is not, I repeat, it is not a Dark Souls game. Many people say that it's just another Soulsborne game, but it has more differences than similarities. Allow me to explain myself. First, this game is not that hard. I know that we'll get a lot of those salty boys out there up in arms that I may dare to have a differing opinion, but the dudes at FromSoft said it best, quote, "Before we release any game, we have Miyazaki playtested. If he can't beat it, we balance it. Miyazaki is not very good at action-adventure games," close quote. Except, in Japanese, so you translate that or whatever. Now, this game is difficult, sure, and it will punish you for making mistakes, but besides the occasional bullshit tracking bug where the guardian forking ape grabs me despite being behind him for the umpteenth time, the rules are set, they are clear, they do not change. Every enemy has a set pattern and behavior, and will never stray from that ever. It's just a matter of learning it, countering it, and punishing them for even challenging you in the first place. The mechanics for Sekiro near Shadows Die Like 1,000,002 Times vary widely from your typical Soulsborne game, where instead of stamina pools that draw from every action, whether it be casting a spell, running fast, swinging a sword, or gingerly wiping your butt with a smooth stone 3, 5, or 7 times, the number does not matter, only that it is an odd number. Instead, you have a posture bar that gradually takes damage and recovers based on how much vitality you have. That is, if your vitality bar is full, your posture recovers quickly. If you are on death's door, do not count on it recovering in your lifetime. This goes for both you and your enemies, with one exception. If you max out your posture bar and your posture is broken, you are stunned for like a second, and the enemy can hit you as much or as little as their little black hearts desire. However, if you break their posture, you can punish them with the ultimate killing blow of the shinobi! Except for, mini-bosses and most regular bosses that have 2 or more health bars that you have to deal killing blows to. Now, it may seem like a small and semantic, even pedantic difference, but it changes everything about how the game is played and how you approach every enemy you face. And trust me when I say there is a widely varied cast of characters in this game. As I initially played this game, I was getting my teeth kicked in by every trash mob and their grandmas. I was straight up not having a good time, bro. But then the game clicked for me. I played more aggressively, but not recklessly. I learned how to parry, and all of a sudden I was having a great time. And sometimes killing enemies that others were having difficulty with, on my first try. I even managed to beat Genichiro, untouched, on my first try, remarkably. My wife will vouch for me, but I'm sure she did not approve of my boisterous cheers of victory. Neither did my neighbors, for that matter. As for the narrative, well, put simply, it's great. And it's a classic Miyazaki approach, so of course it's great. Though with it being a story-driven single-player game, it's far more overt than any Soulsborne game ever has been. Though it doesn't lack the same depth and subtlety that Miyazaki pours into everything he touches. Warning! Warning! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Put on your 3D glasses now. The story of Shapiro Liberals Cry Twice is a story of redemption, as you work to protect the Lord you were assigned to. He was captured by the Big Bad because of the lure of immortality, and you must save him, and ultimately sever the ties to immortality forever. However, at the beginning of the game, your father tells you the Iron Code. 1. You must obey any order your Lord gives you. And 2. You must obey the will of your father. It is absolute and supersedes the will of your Lord. My family has a history of military service, so such laws are not unfamiliar to me. In the military, you are assigned a commander by a higher force. If your commander's will is in conflict to the will of his superiors, you must forsake your commander and complete the mission, whatever it may be. I decided right then and there, before the gameplay even started, that when these conflicting wills inevitably leave me with a choice, I will follow the Iron Code. The code is absolute. This sentiment was shared by Shakira Hips Lie Twice. When your father asks you to forsake your master, I immediately chose to follow my father and gave it no second thought. I made my decision at the beginning of the game, and sticking with a decision when things are tough is far easier than making one in the heat of the moment. Suddenly all my friends start calling me Ashura, which is a demon of death. I thought, I'm not Ashura, I'm only following my father's orders. But as the friends I made throughout my playthrough forced me to fight, I felt no end of satisfaction at finally beating them, as they were very tough opponents. I was angry at being labeled Ashura for following my father's orders, but then I began to understand Miyazaki's point. As the main character, my desires to defy my loved ones through countless death did become less and less about following my father and more about my own bloodlust at defeating more and more difficult opponents. I had become Shura, and I didn't realize it. I then began to grasp the genius behind the story. So far, I'm greatly enjoying my second playthrough, and I can't wait to forsake my father in this one and follow the path of immortal severance. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you're feeling generous, feel free to subscribe or support me on my Patreon. Links in the doobly-doo below. You can also reach out to me at the email provided. And, just keep living your best life. See ya!